early signing period is here. And athletes are jumping into that transfer portal, boy, like it's hot, like fire out there. You know, the block is hot right now, so everybody's trying to find them an opportunity to get themselves positioned to continue their collegiate sports career so that they can get drafted or picked up or go wherever it is that they're looking to go to continue on playing the sport that they love to play once they leave that institution, when they no longer have any more eligibility left. But one thing I say is this: there were some crazy things that took place last week, as well as some wonderful things that went on that we're going to talk about in this here show right after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, share these videos, and tap me in the free to tell them to come on in. It's double positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in that thing, because I know y'all like, Coach, what you got going on off in this thing, man? Let me know what's happening here. Listen, the early signing period has taken place, and the transfer portal is opening up. Like I said, signing period is right around the corner. The early signing period is right around the corner. I think it's, a couple of days? I might have missed it already. Make sure, we got everything on point. So if Coach is wrong, he's going to show you on the screen exactly when the early signing period is taking place. But this is the thing, guys. When I'm looking at what's going on with a lot of these athletes that's jumping out there, getting into this portal, I hope y'all got some film, because some of y'all that I've looked at don't have film. We're making up excuses on why we weren't able to get into institutions that we were looking to get into. I mean, things happen, but you got to understand one thing as well. These institutions, their businesses, just like many of you out there have your brands, like these NFL ball players, NBA basketball players, MLB, so on and so forth, have their brands as well, which is what? Their business. And if you're not taking care of business, there's nothing really they can do for you. So you can make up all of the things you want to make up as you wish. But at the end of the day, it still falls back on you. But there's some athletes that did jump into that portal that they can make a significant impact immediately. I mean, a couple of those players, like the number one receiver for Alabama State, Mr. Keshawn Johnson. You got All-American DB from North Carolina Central, Khalil Baker. You got Jack State All-SWAC offensive lineman, Evan Henry. You got North Carolina Central All-American MEAC wide receiver Devin Smith. You got South Carolina State All-MEAC running back Jawan Howell. You got Grambling State University running back Floyd Chalk. Just to name a few that had decided they want to go out there and test the water. They want to see how that water feel to get themselves positioned to get into a different program so that they can continue on moving forward as far as getting to that destination that they're looking to get to. And guys, you can imagine, there's a lot of these individuals that are looking at getting themselves in position so that how we hear a lot of folks say, want to be able to get out there, take care of mama, want to be able to get out there, take care of that family that they have so that they can make life easy for everybody that's around them as well as themselves. And not only that, but they playing a sport that they love to play, because there's a lot of athletes out there that like the sport. They don't love the sport. And that's why you're seeing a lot of change that's going on, where you're seeing some of these athletes, and I'm not saying all, but some that do not fit into programs that they go to because that love ain't there. It's just, I like you, girl. But if you say, but do you love me? I was thinking about that, love is pretty strong. No, love is what it is. If you don't love this sport, you get out there on that field, boy, somebody might knock your head off and have your helmet spinning around on your head, boy, like you sitting there trying to figure out which day is it? Is it Thursday? No, fool, it's today. It's Monday. Wake your behind up. But yeah, y'all understand where I'm coming from. But guys, I know coaches be a little silly, but you know what? This is the thing. I got a message for all my athletes out there. I have to say this, because there's some things that I'm seeing that, in conversations that I've been having, I'm just like, guys, come on, man. We're not making sense here. We got to be, realistic as far as the decisions that we're looking to make, because you're looking to continue your collegiate sports career. Now, if by chance you have an opportunity to get drafted, you got to remember one thing. The things that you do or the things that you've done at your previous stops, those things are going to come back and smack you in your face, because what they're going to do is They're going to dig into your past to find out exactly what's going on. And not only that, but social media is something that can really cripple somebody from getting to where they want to go, because guess what? They post everything up there. So when you leave certain stories up online, people tend to read those stories and they go back and start putting those timelines together to see exactly what's going on. So all I'm saying is that just be careful with how you position yourself on a particular situation, because again, it can come back to bite you in your behind. It's kind of like I was telling a lot of individuals in the past when it came down to them looking to get recruited from high school, going into college. Guess what? You don't know who they're going to go ask questions about you. It's not always going to be just the coach. It could be the janitor. It could be a cook. It could be the daggone water boy out there, as far as you know. It could be somebody within the facility that you might see day in and day out when you walk in and out of the facility after you leave practice or whatever have you. It could just be anybody. So all I'm saying is just be careful with some of the stuff that we position out there, amongst the masses that get out to everybody. You're sitting there like, wait a minute, what? But we're going to leave that for another day. But I tell you this, there's still a few coaching positions out there that are looking for head coaches. And one name in particular that popped up. Ooh, child, let me tell you. This is the name that keeps coming back up over and over again. And the funny thing is, I kind of hope in some way, shape, or fashion, this young man gets the opportunity to become a head coach. I think I kind of feel like he has something to offer. I'm not just saying that because it will be a splash pick, but I'm saying that because of the fact that this individual has a lot of passion in their heart when it comes down to wanting to deal with athletes, making sure that things go the way that they should go on and off the field. Sit down with them, let them know that hey, this is what is expected. And I think I kind of feel like he would be a good fit for a program. And this leads me to the story on the Pivot podcast, where you had Ed Reed sat down with the Pivot podcast and talked about, his short time while he was at Bethune Cookman, as far as the blow up and things of that nature that took place, and let everybody know just how passionate of a person he is when it comes to the sport of football. And one thing I'll say is, oftentimes passion sometimes get confused with people being angry. And it's not the fact that he's angry, but I think some people just didn't understand the individual. You get what I'm saying? And in this instance, I'm looking, they asked him a question. They moved on from the Bethune Cookman situation. They got to talking about him talking with the previous head football coach, Deion Sanders, who moved on to Colorado State, letting him know that, he wanted him to be the next head coach of Jackson State University. I mean, now, I'm just going to say this, and I know some of you out there are going to get a little offended, but let's be real here. When have you ever left a job? Cubicle Nation out there. When have you ever left a job? And, you basically went to move on for something else better, and you told your former employer, hey, I got somebody else that can come in here and do this job on the same type of time that I'm, on the same level, if not a little bit higher than what I was able to do. And they said, you know what? We're going to go with him. I really don't believe that was the case. What I do believe was the case is the fact that because he was awarded, that's the previous head coach, was awarded an opportunity to become the head football coach over Jackson State University. He had never had any head coaching experience. Ashley Robinson, who's the athletic director over there, is doing a phenomenal job with that sporting program over there. Y'all need to give that man a round of applause daily, because, he's really putting some things together over there for Jackson State University, making sure things are in place so that they can continue to keep moving forward with their with their sports program. Because he gave Deion Sanders that opportunity, I guess Coach Prime, and I'm not speaking for Coach Prime, I'm not speaking for Coach Deion Sanders. I'm just thinking here, maybe he thought, well, if he gave me an opportunity, maybe he might give Ed Reed an opportunity too, in which that opportunity was not afforded to him because they went with the guy that would have gotten the position had head coach Deion Sanders not come to Jackson State, which was head coach T.C. Taylor, which is a better fit for that program to continue to keep moving them forward. I say all of that to say, sometimes you have to understand that we oftentimes have we oftentimes find ourselves in situations where, even though we might have been a good thing for something, we kind of make it look like it's not so much of a good thing. You get what I'm saying? Because with all of the stuff that's going on, and I mean, the Jack State folks, they've moved on and continue on to keep doing what they're doing as far as with their university, their sporting programs, and just continue to keep pushing things forward. They're not looking back. But it just seems like every time we look up, somebody got to find a way to, pull Jack State back into the fold. And that leads me on to the Charleston White situation. And with Charleston White, he took that show where he wanted to put on that I'm gonna call it that gorilla suit, and act like something that he's really not, in which it turned bad for him, where you had somebody want to jump on stage and want to get after him. And it's kind of like listening to him talk to Cam Newton on his show when he was discussing the fact that his demeanor as far as with how he projected his feelings towards, Deion Sanders and him leaving Jackson State and being over there in Colorado. He had some good points, but some of that didn't really need to come off that way, because I'm like, listen, that man is free to move on and do whatever it is that he wishes to do. But when you come back and you want to, I'm going to say ostracize somebody for the sake of trying to get a laugh or a joke, out of the masses, I mean, then you have to understand the penalty that comes with that, because at some point in time, somebody's going to raise up and they're going to speak their mind. They're going to say what they feel, or better yet, in this instance, they're going to raise up on you and they're going to come after you behind, which is what happened to Charleston White. I hope the man is okay. I'm not looking forward to nobody getting, jammed up in no way, shape, or fashion, but it just bothered me a little bit that, this man went to, the depths of it's like he walked out there on a plank, it's like a plank hanging off the side of a boat. And he just walked to the very end where his tippy toes on the edge saying, you know what, I ain't gonna fall off. I got this. And guess what? Them folks came and knocked his behind off. But we're gonna go back to something positive here, which is something that I always like to have in anything that we're discussing. And that is the hiring of Coach Berry over at South Carolina State University. Them Bulldogs got their coach. And not only that, but they got an assistant athletic director over there that's going to come into that boy and do some things as well. Because you know what? When you got someone that understands sports just like their coaches, that's going to be a marriage that's going to be beautiful amongst that sporting program. And you're going to see that program go to higher heights, which is something you're going to see with South Carolina State University, because they brought a young man in there to be the assistant athletic director, Dr. Nathan Cochran, who has coached football as well as track and field. So understand, they have someone in there that understands what the sporting program is, what the sporting programs are going to need as far as with making sure that they continue to keep raising the bar for their sporting programs to continue to keep going higher and higher. That hiring is phenomenal for South Carolina State. Not only that, but you bring in head coach Dennis Berry from over at Benedict College, the two-time back-to-back SWAC champions, coming into South Carolina State to become the new head football coach. Now I was sitting out looking at the map as far as how far was Benedict College from South Carolina State. I think it's like 45 minutes, maybe an hour and 12 with traffic, something like that. And you know what? This is a phenomenal hire on many different reasons, because I love what Coach Berry did over at Benedict College as far as, raising the level of expectation for those young men that were on his team, letting them know that these are the things that are expected. Yes, he allowed them to be who they are, but in the end, when they got out there and played ball, things were expected of them to, get out there and be what he expected them to be out there in their field, especially with how they dominated the game against Albany State. I know my son will be mad at me for talking about his football team like that, but it's okay. They got dominated in the game. And there's nothing that we can do or say about that. It happened. But I'll say this. Looking at what Coach Berry has been able to do as far as building that program over the 3 seasons that he was there, Coach Berry comes into South Carolina State with a record of 27-7. Not only that, Coach Berry coached at my favorite favorite college in the world, Morris Brown College. That's right. He was a coach over there. He was an assistant coach over at Morris Brown College. I believe he was a position coach. He graduated from Savannah State University, and that's another reason why I'm so fond of Coach Berry, because I remember, and I could be wrong, Coach Berry came during the heydays when they used to come to Morris Brown College, boy, with them buses that was thick. And they used to jump off them buses, come in there, kick folks behind, get back on the bus, and then they go back to Savannah State and do their thing. So I'm happy to see Coach Berry here. I'm happy to see Coach Berry over at South Carolina State University as the new head football coach. And yeah, they got a couple of athletes that's jumping into the transfer portal, which I'm sure he'll be able to deter them to decide to bring their talents back to South Carolina State and become a part of their football program. But you know what? There was a lot that went on, and I still haven't got to the basketball stuff yet, and I'm going to drop that as well, because the ladies out there do some great stuff as well as the fellas. We got to talk about everybody and everything. But, guys, one thing for certain is this. The hiring of Coach Berry over at South Carolina State University is going to be a phenomenal thing. Ed Reed is looking to become a head football coach somewhere. There's still multiple positions out there that he could very well end up at one of those FCS HBCU schools. There's been some rumblings allegedly that maybe a Tiger program might pick him up. I don't know, but I'm gonna wait and see how that goes. I'll wait for the institution to put that out. I ask questions and see what's what, see what the tea leaves are doing. But you know what? I don't have all that information to go ahead and say, hey, I got it, I'm the first. No, because I can always be wrong. But guys, Coach, just being silly right now. But you know what, man? I thank all of y'all for spending a little time with me, and I appreciate you. Oh, and don't forget, you can also check out content over at TLSportsNetwork.com. The website is up. Coach has been working feverishly to get that up and going. So I got content that's coming up there on that website. Also, I got some stuff that I've already created, different stories that's been created. I just got to get those posted as well. So go over there and check that out, TLSportsNetwork.com. Check out your content over there for your HBCU sports. Coach is covering some of everything. But guys, Coach going to go ahead and get up on out of here. But until next time, be the one and lead.